we want to go next to Des Moines, Iowa, where Dr. Ben Carson, another Republican contender, is standing by. Dr. Carson, you kind of came on the political scene with your speech at the National Prayer Breakfast, in which you talked about the fact that we're too politically correct in American culture these days. With respect to Donald Trump and his spat with Megyn Kelly, is everybody being too politically correct?
Well, I think there may be a difference between political correctness and, courteous speech. There is a difference. And what bothers me is when people say, you can't say this word, you can't say this phrase, you can't even think that, you can't express this. And it's very difficult for people to have an honest conversation if they can't express themselves. But in no way do I advocate, saying mean things about people. That has nothing to do with political correctness. And
so do you think that's what Donald Trump did in this case?
I haven't heard his specific comments, but I've heard about them, and they certainly would not be the kinds of things that I would engage in.
Let me ask you about your debate performance and the aftermath of that. You were the second highest Googled person during the debate, and you've had a real outpouring of support on social media. The first question is, what do you think people were looking up on Google during the debate about you?
Well, about half people didn't even know who I was, so I'm sure they were saying, who is this guy? He actually makes a little bit of sense. This is good. And, we've had like 275,000 new Facebook likes, and Twitter has gone crazy. And that's continuing to be the case, and that's good. Because what I'm trying to get people to understand is that we, the American people, are not each other's enemies, and the problems that face us are not Democrat or Republican problems. They face all of us.
How are you going to capitalize on that social media surge?
Well, we're already capitalizing on it and have been for several months. The reason that we're able to sustain ourselves is because of the small donations, hundreds of thousands of people donating. I personally will never go after billionaires and special interest groups' money. If people want to donate, it will be because they love America and what we stand for.
One of the things that's getting passed around a lot on social media are some remarks that you gave at the debate. Let's listen to those remarks.
When I take someone to the operating room, I'm actually operating on the thing that makes them who they are. The skin doesn't make them who they are. The hair doesn't make them who they are. And it's time for us to move beyond that.
How do we move beyond that when so many blacks feel that they are targeted by police specifically because of the color of their skin?
Well, I think we have to change the conversation, and we have to look for real solutions. What I've said for a long time is we need to introduce police into those communities early on so that little Johnny's first encounter with a policeman is somebody who's playing catch with him, not somebody who's chasing them down the alley with a gun. When people know each other, it makes all the difference in the world.
But
we also need to concentrate on teaching values and principles to young men, because when you talk about things like Black Lives Matter, I think absolutely they matter, but we need to be worried about the fact that the most likely cause of death for a young black man in the inner city is homicide. And most of those homicides are not coming at the hands of the police. So let's look at all the factors that are really infringing upon the longevity of our young people, of all races.
All right, Dr. Ben Carson, thank you so much for being with us.